I think I'm a bit of a nerd. Look, I've been fascinated by politics since I was 8 or 9 years old. I don't know why this was, whether it was something that was bestowed on me by my parents, but I've just been fascinated by observing this and the machinations of power too. It's sort of the great human drama, one of the great human dramas.
Mr. Middleton.
So, Jim?
Jim Middleton will be alternating here.
Jim Middleton's first assignments to Canberra began in the 1970s, a very different era where long hair and longer lunches punctuated a far less guarded political process.
Political correspondent Jim Middleton.
The tone of Mr Longhi's remarks makes it quite clear that he's not prepared to allow New Zealand to be pushed around by the United States.
And liftoff of the orbiter.
This is Jim Middleton at NASA headquarters in Washington. It's yet another example of the inability of the modern United Nations to deal with almost any international crisis.
How's that audio? Does that sound all right? We might get some clearer pictures as far as this is concerned.
Mark the start of another leadership run by the Treasurer. One of them said to me, "My heart tells me 50 votes for Bob Hawke, but my head tells me 45. I'm not worried about how the back view looks as long as it...
Not sure.
At the midway point in the race, the Australian lead remains just devastating, close to 4 minutes.
John Howard gets his moment in the sun tomorrow. What you're suggesting about Labor and the economy, that's desperation politics.
No, I don't think it's desperation politics at all.
From Edinburgh, John Howard's heading east to Jakarta for pre-APEC talks with President Suharto. For a moment, this year's APEC summit bore a passing resemblance to the set of The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Within the pile of rubble that is now the World Trade Center, about a 5-storey high pile of rubble, 2 people have been confirmed alive. Emotion reached right into the Oval Office as George W. Bush spoke, his voice breaking and tears in his eyes. More and more this is starting to sound like a rerun of the Gulf War, but the declaration does not endorse the American-led attacks on targets in Afghanistan. It's taken nearly 2 years to get the formal negotiations off the ground, but that may prove to be the easy bit. I grabbed the sunlit plains extending, the stars above us, above move us all. There were presents too. The rules are known to both of the combatants and also to the audience.
We could retrain some of these men with bad bats to become ABC reporters.
The trouble is, after a tumultuous 24 hours in Australian politics, the Howard years are over, ushering in the Rudd era. Prime Minister, very good to be talking to you.
Thanks for having me on the program.
Prime Minister, welcome back to the program.
Thanks, Jim.
Emma Ibrahim, welcome to the program. Good to talk to you again. Prime Minister, good to be talking to you again.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you again.
Jose Ramachorda, welcome to the studio.
Thank you for having me again.
Prime Minister, very good to be talking to you.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Malcolm Fraser, very good to be talking to you.
Thank you.
This week, Australia's Prime Minister Tony Abbott is visiting Japan, South Korea, and finally here to China.
I'm Zoe Daniel.
And I'm Jim Middleton. Bye for now. Thank you very much.